What's the word, ladies and gentlemen? This is Andrew, and welcome back to Overwatch. That's right, guys. We have a new map in Overwatch. It's called Ilios. It is freaking ridiculously beautiful. Probably Blizzard's most well-done map as far as aesthetic looks, look-wise goes. The map is gorgeous. Now, it is, of course, based in Greece. When I first saw the preview for this map, I honestly thought, like, this is where I want to go for vacation this summer. Book my ticket right now. We are going. Bring the cats, bring all my clothes, bring my apartment, and actually let's bring that fried chicken place down the street because they got some pretty dope fried chicken. But I am not coming back here. Holy cow, is the map gorgeous. And what is really cool is that Blizzard seems to have taken some inspiration, I guess, if you want to call it that, from several Greek islands. The ones that kind of stuck out to me after Googling a little bit that look most like Ilios would be Santorini and Mykonos. I'll go ahead and show you guys the pictures so you guys can kind of compare between, the real-life counterparts and the Overwatch map of Ilios. So it's kind of neat, I finally got a chance to play on it. I swear to God, I'm sorry this video is late. The map came out 3 days ago, so March 10th, and it's been 3 days, so it's March 13th, and I have not been able to play on that map until today. And out of like the 4 or 5 times I've been able to play the map, 4 out of 5 times I wasn't able to get to the last objective because either, we won in 2 in a row or the enemy won 2 in a row. So this took a while to put the footage together, but I figured I'd show you guys some of the gameplay here. It's going to be a mix of Pharah, Widowmaker, some Zenyatta maybe. But yeah, this map has 3 levels. They're all capture points, right? So just hold the point for as long as you can until it reaches 100%. Then you move on to the next level. And whoever wins 2 out of the 3 first basically wins the match. And the 3 levels, I want to say the first 2 seem to favor Pharah a lot. The map is essentially a giant maze. It's got a lot of places to hide, a lot of places to kind of attack from, a lot of small buildings. So Pharah is excellent at being able to bypass all of that, kind of, get that verticality advantage on people trying to funnel in. Now, of course, snipers are great in this map as well, just to kind of counter some of the Pharah action. But Pharah definitely seems to have a ridiculously good advantage in the first 2 objectives of the Ilios map. A little tidbit here, which I think is kind of cool that I've noticed in Ilios more than any other map in Overwatch so far, is that it seems like they're stressing more on, getting creative with your kills. There's a big-ass giant hole in the second part of the map that you can kind of knock people into. The first objective, that capture point is right next to a ledge, so you can really get creative with your kills. You can knock people off. Now, the third part of the Ilios map is essentially like a bit more ancient Greece type look, right? It's got the overgrown vines on those old pillars. The capture point is essentially a pit, and I found that Bastion is amazing for kind of shooting at enemies in that pit, so Bastion would be probably a good pick. Pharah would probably still be pretty strong here, but I guess we will have to just wait and see how Ilios ages as a map. Maybe Blizzard will add some new structures in there to help tone back how strong certain heroes are and stuff, so we'll have to see. Overall, I love this map. It's disgustingly beautiful. Like, it's aesthetically looking wise, it's probably my favorite one, and I'm not just saying that because it's like new and shiny, but it actually looks really, really nice. It kind of honestly also reminds me of Nepal, that map in the temple with those robotic monks also in the mountains. It has that kind of feel, but I feel like the art department in Blizzard definitely tried to expand more on the expansive feel, right? You can kind of see out for miles out into the ocean. You can kind of see the mountains on your left or on your right, depending on which side you're on. I just feel like so many of the current maps in Overwatch, the ones previous to Ilios, of course, they tend to be a little bit more confined, if that makes sense, because you can't see like what's beyond this map. At least you don't really notice it. But Ilios has a definite emphasis on sort of looking into the horizon, looking into the environment outside of the map. I think it's a great touch. So well done, Blizzard. Here's a clap for you. Great job, guys. Now, as far as actual functionality as a map, it plays pretty well. I haven't noticed really any performance difference between the previous maps and this one, so that's a plus. As far as the meta goes, I honestly have no idea. The map's been out for 3 days, and as you guys know, I've only been able to maybe play like 4 or 5 matches on this thing, so take my opinion with a grain of salt, but in my opinion, Ilios plays really well. I don't think there was ever a time where I felt like I was running my head against a wall, you know, like there weren't any choke points where I just want to strangle a baby or anything. I didn't get that frustrated at any part of the map. I feel like certain parts of certain maps in previous maps like Temple of Anubis, the last objective, prior to the patch that they did recently, that was sort of a headache to kind of get through. But as far as Ilios goes, I feel like the battles tend to flow nicely. I don't think there's any sort of choke points, clusterfuck areas, at least not yet from my 4 or 5 games of playing it. Overall, just first impressions, I think it's a fine map. Again, we'll have to see as the map ages to see what the community thinks, but I think that's it for today, guys. Let me know what you guys think of this new map, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to check out some of my other videos. I do tons and tons of Overwatch, but I do also do another video game called Dirty Bomb, so, you know, a good mix. It's a nice, happy family over here. So if you guys want to see more, definitely hit that subscribe button, and until next time, I'll see you in the next one. I don't know why I did that voice.